not according to the will of the Father. And then God said, if you're going to be in my kingdom, you got to overthrow your will. You got to be willing to break up. You got to be willing to divorce your will. You got to be willing to divorce how you feel. You got to be willing to divorce how you think. You got to be willing to divorce these things that make you who you are. Because when they don't line up according to the word of the Father, you're out of his will. Your will is what you feel close to. Because we've been like this, some of us, all our lives. And now somebody's trying to tell us, now you got an attitude, having an attitude is wrong. We want to put up a fight. But you got to understand, God is saying, I'm putting a demand on your will to change. I'm putting a demand on how you act to change. I'm putting a demand on whatever kind of mother you are to be a better mother. I'm putting a demand on you what kind of father you are to be a better father. I'm putting a demand on you to whatever kind of believer you are to be a better believer, because of how you acting is not of me. See, we got to understand that you got to break up with this stuff that you thought that's the real you. See, the problem is we came into agreement with believing a lie about ourselves. Why do I say it's a lie? Because in Genesis, he said he created us in the likeness and image. He created us. So if he created us to be like him, how come we're jacked up? How come we're comfortable jacked up? How come we feel it's okay to come to church jacked up? How come we feel it's okay to read our Bible jacked up and we don't feel like we got to change? See, that's telling us that we have come into agreement with a demonic system that don't have nothing to do with God. Just because people told you, you just show up, God gonna bless you. They told you a lie. Because God's saying, if you're going to be my child, you got to line up. It's time out thinking that you could just come to church and just thinking you doing somebody a favor because you showed up. Time out for us just coming to think, well, you know what? They need me. No, you got to understand God needs you. I don't need you. He does. And if he needs you, you need to get into alignment to do what God has called you to do. Because shame on us. We do what our bosses say do. Your boss tell you to come to work at 7 o'clock. Guess what? You at work at 7 o'clock. When we know what time church is, we coming to church late. You know what we telling God? I value my boss more than I value you. My Lord. We'll sit up there and go to work. Somebody who can't stand us, we'll work with somebody who can't stand us, but we'll leave a church because we don't like the person we go to church with. You see how our wheels are messed up? We have allowed how we feel and the way that we think to come into our relationship with God. And then we're wondering why we don't see blessings manifesting in our life. They can't manifest because you have put other people over your relationship. You have put the way that you think over your relationship with God. And he said, if you're going to have my mind, the power of his mind, you got to know who the battle is with. The battle isn't with your brother or with your sister, but the battle is within. I'm going to say that again. The battle is within you. Because when you go to Genesis, the third chapter. No, before we go there, let's go to Isaiah 14. Because you got to understand, when we're so comfortable with this nature that we got to know where did it come from. Because I told you, you got to know the origin of your thoughts. Your thoughts come from either good or evil. So when you look at Isaiah the 14th chapter, let's look at verse 12. How you have fallen from heaven, talking about Satan. O morning star, son of the dawn, you have been cast down to earth. You who once laid low the nations, you said in your heart, you said in your mind, you said in your will, you said in your emotions, you said in your feelings, I will ascend to heaven. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will sit enthroned on the mount of assembly, on the uttermost heights of the sacred mountain. I will ascend above the tops of the cloud. I will make myself like the Most High God. See, this is what Satan did. He began to allow his will to think that I will ascend higher than the Most High God. I will ascend